I was 20 years old. I didn't know how long I'd be there, but I knew I wouldn't be there more than 12 months. I spent 261 days in prison, and every day I wrote. I tracked my thoughts. I tracked my goals. I tracked the food I ate. I tracked what I did every single day. I tracked the books I read. I read 30 books in the time I was there. I basically rebuilt how I thought and operated and just acted as a human. Now I'm sharing those pages with you in this podcast, From Prison to President. One page, one lesson. So here's what I wrote on August 2nd. Feelings of accomplishment are needed. If nothing is accomplished, there can be a feeling of uselessness. Think about this. When a person doesn't accomplish anything, he or she must feel that they have not done anything. If the feeling persists, uselessness emerges and quickly overcomes our plans or aspirations. That is why goal setting is so important. Goals that are attainable is a must. Yes. So in prison, days can feel kind of like they blend together like a Groundhog Day, right? Because they kind of they're kind of all the same. You can go a week or two not knowing really what you did. So that uselessness really creeps in pretty fast if you allow it. And that's why I wrote, like all about this, how I tracked everything, because this accomplishment is really kind of my oxygen. And without it, I think, I would go a little bit crazy. Now, I started tracking everything. Exercises, what I ate, how many cookies I had that day. And not because they were big, but because they reminded me that I'm still moving, I'm still going forward. And there I was wrestling with another truth, and that is accomplishment is what amplified me when I let others help me. Now, for me, that was a little terrifying. But it did plant the seed. The strength doesn't come from isolation. It comes from openness, which is really a whole different thought process, because you're actually thinking about, opening instead of being closed, or what you can do by yourself, which really was a problem, at least for me. Now, later on August 2nd, I wrote this. To accept the emotional help, you must be willing to share your hopes, dreams, and aspirations with others. You must not be too quick to open, but when asked about your inner feelings, always be honest and always listen to the response. Most of the time, sincerity will be heard in the voice and the eyes. Don't be afraid to share your feelings. Without this, growing emotionally can be next to impossible. When you share your insides, people around you will become more attached, therefore becoming closer to each other. So, what does this have to do with business? Well, first, accomplishment matters, right? Accomplishment matters. Your team needs to feel like they're winning. Even small wins build confidence for the bigger wins. Second, you can't do it alone. Leaders who refuse to help cap their own growth. I know that's what I did. Openness builds trust, and trust fuels momentum. Now, you may not want to hear this, but you've been probably confusing busyness with accomplishment. And busyness without wins eats away at your confidence. So here's my challenge to you this week. Set one goal you can actually finish. Make it small, but make it real. Write it down, and then do it. Get it done. And then what? You check it off the list. That's exactly what you want to do. That is accomplishment. Even a small one still means you're moving forward. And when your family, your friends, your team see that you've finished something from the start, they feel the momentum too. Show them the progress. Show them you can finish. Early in my career, I thought I had to carry everything alone. The more I carried, the more useless I really felt. One day, I was talking to a mentor, and he says, "What are you afraid of if you let people help? Like, what's going to happen?" And I remember I didn't really have an answer. So he basically said, "Try it." So I did. I opened up. I started sharing my goals. I started sharing my doubts, my worries, etc. And instead of losing, I call it respect. The people around me definitely leaned in and thought more about me. They didn't see me as weak. They actually saw me as a human, a good human. And suddenly, the wins weren't just mine. They were ours. They were the group, which is great when you're running a company. That's the beauty of what I wrote in prison. Accomplishment fuels confidence, but shared accomplishment creates unshakable togetherness and all about team. So if you feel like you're carrying it all alone, which some of you I'm sure do, let someone in. Don't rob them of the chance to win without you. They want to win with you. So that was one page from my prison journal. If it meant something to you, please share it with someone who you care about, who's building, struggling, or starting over. And whenever you do, don't miss the next episode. Because sometimes it's just one line on one page that changes your journey of your life. Keep moving forward. Your community needs you. See you next week.